Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. I know it looks a little different in here. I'll explain all of that a little bit later, especially like this. What the hell's going on? So, wanted to hop on because I've had a rough couple of days just as human beings, and wanted to make sure everyone's okay. Um, we lost Dolly Parton yesterday, and it was a uh, pretty big loss for humanity in general. Um, she's not, a massive person in the car world or drag racer or anything like that, but she was one of those people. At least for me, she was one of those people who has always been in my life. I've seen her, like on the Tonight Show countless times, or I've been to Dollywood, and all of that stuff. It's one of those you just sort of, she's supposed to be part of your life for your entire life. That's part of the deal. She's just like a built-in thing, kind of like, McDonald's has been around my whole life. Dolly Parton's supposed to be around my whole life. And you know uh enjoyed the songs that she wrote. Jolene obviously is a massive success, and then I Will Always Love You, and then she did tons of movies. And I remember even my parents laughing at the movie 9 to 5. I remember going to see that in the theaters with my parents, and even they laughed at that. So there's you have a killer cast. Dolly Parton and Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda and Dabney Coleman. I mean, it was very funny. There's a lot of good comedy in there. Um, but just one of those things, you expect to have it in your life all the time. You see all of these incredible things she does. The the imagination library thing. I read a stat: 250 million books plus 250 million plus books got mailed out by her crew, free, absolutely free. Kids just, it doesn't have to be like from a school or from a teacher or anything. Kid has to send a note saying, I'd like a book. They would send the book to them, no charge. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, that's got to be, even if you do it $1 a book, that's, you know, that's insane amount of money. That's $250 million. Let's see who's here. Oh, hey, Nikki. I used to watch Dolly with my grandma before she passed, so it kind of hit hard when Dolly passed. Made me think of my grandma. Yeah, Dolly can pull off the grandma. She can also pull off the aunt, and she can pull off a whole bunch of stuff. And that was why it was so odd, because she just made another public appearance like last week. She was opening up a Dollywood style or like truck stop. And it was like, oh, that's awesome. She has all these great other ventures that she's doing. And, she kicks ass with it. And um, it was one of those things. It's just kind of like the standard in your life, even, my mom who didn't like music at all actually liked Dolly Parton. So yeah, that was all kind of interesting. It was just one like, all right, I'll expect her to be there, for the next 150 years. Um, she's kind of an entity more than a person. And like I said, the philanthropy stuff she did is just unbelievable. When the fires came through Gatlinburg in 2016, millions and millions of dollars, and she just gave it to those people. They had to come to her, say, hey, my house got burned down, and she gave them money. That was it. It wasn't this big, huge bureaucratic, you got to fill out this form and talk to the county commissioner and find out if you're in fire zone two. None of that shit. It was, oh, your house got burned? Here's money for the next, 6 months, year. Get back on your feet. That was it. That was how simple it was. And she did that with a ton of stuff, which is just absolutely amazing. She came, I think there were, God, I'm trying to remember. She was from a huge family. I want to say there were like 9 kids, and she, uh, I don't think a lot of them went to school like past like 4th or 5th grade. Um, I think she was the only one to go to high school, and but at the same time, she remained absolutely true to her roots. She, uh, was always in Knoxville. She was always in Sevierville. She was always in Nashville. And I guess kind of the closest I ever got was I never got to meet her in person. I've been to the Grand Ole Opry. Um, I've been to a lot of kick-ass places in Nashville, but um, where did I see James Burton? At the it's a theater in um, it's a theater in Nashville, and I cannot remember the name of it. It's a super famous theater, like Elvis played there and all this stuff. Anyway, um, I never got to meet Dolly, but I heard tons of stories from Dolly from the Viper twins, Lisa and Teresa, who I'm friends with, and Lisa's husband Chip. They're huge Viper people, and they're massive in the Viper community. And when I would see them at Tail of the Dragon, Lisa and Teresa had stories about Dolly because when they were the McCarter sisters, they toured with Dolly. They did shows with her. They did Nashville. They did Knoxville. All of this. So they were regulars with Dolly and the TV shows and all of that stuff. Hee Haw and Tonight Show and all that. So they had a million stories about Dolly, and they weren't just kind of boring, like, oh hey, we showed up and we sang some songs and then we went home. There was always something fun about it, and there was always something really cool that Dolly did that nobody was expecting. The girls would show up and there'd be like flowers in their dressing room, have a great show from Dolly, whatever. There's always some little tiny tidbit of kindness and thoughtfulness that went into even just something simple as like you know uh, 2 songs on a TV show. There was always something there. She always took care of those around her, and she took care of herself. She did a great job of it. She's crazy funny. I watched today. I watched her top 10. David Letterman had used to have a top 10 countdown. Top 10 things, whatever. And she did one about herself, which was really funny. And she can actually deliver jokes really well. And there was another one, and it's such a great joke, and she tells it so perfectly. It was on Jimmy Fallon, and it was about a bear and Coke bottles, bottles of Coca-Cola, and it's great, and it's just awesome. And to see like Jimmy Fallon like fall on the floor laughing, I mean, that's pretty good. So I'm trying to think of all of those positives, and the probably the best part about Dolly is not having any negatives. I mean, the negative prep where did she say something bad? Where did she do something even remotely controversial? I God, you're not going to find it. I mean, what like she wore her hairstyle a little too long. Those are wigs, people. Forget that shit. Um, I I don't know. I couldn't find anything. So today I also saw this very funny clip from a comedian called Jordan Fisher, who he does this thing called Gangster Chef on social media. That's very funny. And he did a clip where it was God and the Grim Reaper, and he played both characters. And God was like, "Hey, Grim Reaper, you really screwed up yesterday." And Grim Reaper's like, "I know. I'm sorry. That was my bad. I wasn't looking." And then all of a sudden, she was right there. And God was like, "That's you can't do that. They don't have much to live for. You can't take that away from them." And Grim Reaper's like, "Don't worry about it. I'm making up for it today. I found a guy. He's 80." And God was like, "Oh, okay. He's not in the best of health." God was like, "Oh, okay, okay. He's getting closer." And okay, well, show me who he is. And then it cuts to Tim Curry, And God was like, if I could, I would fire you. Tim Curry was another guy, not one of those people like I expect always to be in my life, but he had such standout roles. My first experience with Tim Curry was in the movie Legend, where he played the devil, this huge character with this huge, giant prosthetic head, and he was terrifying in that. I mean, I was just a kid, and he was absolutely terrifying in that. Later on, I discovered Rocky Horror Picture Show, um, but also Clue. He was fantastic in Clue. And then I remember him more recently on what was it, Criminal Minds. He was a pretty dark character on Criminal Minds, so he's very good. He was in Stephen King's It. You know, he's the clown, the original, the clown in the sewer. So yeah, losing Tim Curry sucks too, but we need to slow down. We need to slow this down. And you guys want to put AI to good use? Make more Dollies, make more Keanu Reeves, you know, do stuff like that. Don't worry about making, you know, shitty car event flyers and, you know, big boobs running on the beach. Make another Dolly. The world absolutely needs it. 100%. Where we're at today with everything we got going on, God, I don't watch the news, and even I've just been like, oh, it's just so awful out there. We need more people like Dolly who do cool stuff and make the world a better place literally every single day. It's not like she took 2 years off and went to, you know, Monaco. She was doing it every single day. And yeah, that's just, those are like, those people are super, super cool. They're super, super rare too. So we should definitely celebrate that. Dolly did like hot rods. She definitely liked the vintage stuff, but didn't have a huge car collection or anything. She liked the, you know, definitely 30s, 40s, 50s stuff. That's her thing. That's part of her persona. That's kind of what she grew up with. So that's cool. Um, and I can totally appreciate that. And I know that if she came in here and she saw the limo, as obnoxious and crass as this thing is, she would find something positive to say about it. I don't know what it is. I can't even fathom, but I know just from her persona and seeing her and all of this, I know that she would be, you know, she would be positive about it in some way, you know. Oh, only 485 horsepower? Where's the rest of it? You know, she would do something. So I'm definitely going to miss all the positive stuff I hear from her, and her humor. Her humor was great. Her accent could melt butter. Her accent was just awesome. If you're a guy and you don't like that accent, I can't help you. Sorry. She was super, super awesome, and you're not gonna find a bad side to Dolly. You know, no way. She always put really good people around her. She always had killer family nearby. Her husband Carl was awesome. Uh, I'll tell you this: for years and years and years, I thought Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers were married. I swear to God, I thought that. I thought they were a team, and that was like the, you know, king and queen of country. That's, but I was also, I don't know, 9. So yeah, I didn't know too much. So anyway, I hope everyone got to experience Dolly some, you know, throughout their life like I did, and hopefully with her passing, we get these other, you know, people get more educated about how great she was, all the cool stuff she did, and all of her music, her acting, all of that fun stuff. So hopefully people relive that and get some joy out of it. I'm sure that's what she would have wanted to. So I'm going to get you guys a little update on the shop here, because I haven't seen you guys in a few days. Of course, we've had fuel pump issues. You can see the seats out. We have a new drain pipe for the hot tub, so the drain is back in there, and that's always fun. Being 6'1", crawling around in that little tiny space, I feel kind of Apollo 11y when I do that stuff. But we have a new drain in the limo, which is a good thing. I just have to. You can't really see it. I guess you can kind of see the top of the can right there. That's the foam. So the pipe that runs along the transmission tunnel, foam goes behind it to support that pipe. So Um, we will get the fuel pump going. I really wanted to take this to the FGCU season opener tomorrow, but we don't have fuel pump, so we can't really do that. Mark's been struggling because he wants to tune the car and it runs for about 3 minutes and then fuel pump shuts off from heat. So yeah, it's weird. Um, so I've been doing other upgrades courtesy of timing. The fluorescent bulb assembly up here, the ballast, ate itself last night. Last night? It was yesterday or day before. It ate itself. So now it's dark over where the Miata is still parked. And so I ordered new lights and I got LED lights, which are far more efficient. They're far more expensive, but they're more efficient. So I'll show you guys the LED lights that I got and the difference between the fluorescent and the LED. So this is the original. Oh, it's so heavy because you have this big ballast in here. So this is the original fluorescent setup. Obviously it goes like this and holds the bulbs in, right? But this is what it looks like inside. You have a ballast, you have your connectors, your contacts for the 3 bulbs, and there's a cover that goes on this, obviously. And then there was a shroud that goes on this, but I can pitch those. They're up there now. These put out about 2,500 lumens per bulb, so about 7,500 in total. And this is very heavy. This is probably 3 or 4 pounds with the ballast being very heavy. It's an electronic ballast, so it's not, it has a lifespan. They don't live very long. They're doing a lot of work to get those fluorescent bulbs working. So here's the new one. Let me show you. You can see the difference. I can hold him with one hand. He does not have a ballast. He has 2 LED strips, and it's a very simple setup. The only downside is the connections here for going into the box that the electrician left. The 2 screw holes on mine are mounted 90 degrees the wrong way. So I have to do different mounting holes, and I have to do them straight. So I don't have a reference for straight. So that's why these are not up yet. But these are really nice. It's about $150 for a set of 4. And so they're not terribly expensive. They have a great lifespan. And let me pull this cover off. This is the top cover. So this is literally the wiring. You can wire these up. These are so simple. You have a white and black, hot and neutral, and then a ground. And that's it. That's it for this whole, this is there. It doesn't really have a ballast. It just has a controller. That's it. If you can plug something in, you can wire this up. They're very easy to wire up. So if you're going to do this in your shop, you can definitely do it. The reason I got these is because it has adjustment right here. And this is for the wattage. So we have, trying to read it, 75 watts, 65 watts, and 55 watts. So we're going to go to 75 watts, and then we have our color temperature. 5K, 4K, 3K. So we're going to leave it on daylight. So it's daylight, soft white, and then halogen. So you have 3 different color temperatures here, which is nice. But definitely want the brightest setting. And then also, once this is hung up on the ceiling, you can just take the cover off and adjust these however you want, if it's too bright or the wrong color temperature. But yeah, that's it. These are also really nice because they're the wraparound style. So they don't just go straight down. They actually come around and fill up the ceiling next to it. So that's why I opted for these instead of the ones that just come straight down. So that's why we're not doing cool shit in the shop tonight, is because we don't have light. I mean, I have a bunch of other lights, but not like shop lights. So if you guys do have a shop, there's nothing wrong with these fluorescents. They're not very efficient, and these ballasts burn out, and they're 20, 30 bucks every time they do. You got to climb up on the ceiling. You got to replace them inside. It's just a mess. So If you can, swap out fixtures. You can donate these. You can do whatever you want. I mean, these things still work. So I'll put them out on the group message if anyone wants them. They're free, and they can use them in their shed or their shop or whatever. So pay it forward, sort of thing. So that's about it for tonight. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Since I got you guys, I got to pull the Viper in because I'm done with the ladder over there for now. And I don't really want the Viper outside. It's going to FGCU tomorrow. Plus, you guys don't get to hear this very often, do you? It's probably going to sound weird from inside the car. Okay. Bud in place, door locked, key on, all the way on. Wait for the fuel pump. And you can hear it, and then start. Do some lights so we can see where the hell we're going. Parking brake off, careful with the clutch. Take my glasses off so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Try and keep it straight. This is a smaller garage than what I had in Ohio, so I got to be a little more careful. But we're in. I know I should let it run a little bit longer, but I just need it in before it starts raining. So, Viper's inside now. Miata is outside, and we'll get some light going in here so that we can do a lot more fun car stuff. Just to let you guys know, the Miata part out is going very, very well. There's probably I'd say a 40% a 40% ghosting rate on my listing, which I think is pretty good for Facebook. So I don't know why people do this. I'm pretty sure it's like a game. Hey, how many people can I send messages to and not reply, not read it, not reply to it? I'll ask a very serious, very personal, very in-depth question and then not reply to it. I think it's a game because there's no other reason you would do something like that unless you're a complete and total idiot. But humans don't surprise me anymore. So, Miata part out is going really well. This car will be moved soon. It can't be in the shop anymore. The girl's coming from Miami, but when she comes from Miami, the truck and trailer can pick it up from the spare lot. It's just not. It can't really be in here anymore. We're going through a ton of other cars, so yeah, it's been nice to have it here. But since it's parted out pretty well, the radiator got sold, the soft top got sold, the seats got sold, carpet got sold. There's a lot of stuff that's gone out of the car, so she will be getting a pretty serious shell. I got a bunch of guys that want the engine and transmission, but of course they ghost. They're like, dude, I love it. I'm so glad it's a fresh rebuild, and poof, into the ether. Yeah. So same thing with the wheels, which is very odd. Guys are all gung-ho about the wheels, and that's not sexist. That's the only people who've replied as guys about the wheels. They're like, dude, these things are awesome. They're so great. Oh, they're second gen 6ULs. Oh, I love that. Poof, and they just disappear. And it's very, very odd. So I'm pretty sure it's a game. It's something, I don't know how they keep score. It's got to be like a college thing on a whiteboard somewhere. Dude, I sent out, 25 high is this availables today. And, 90% of them returned, and I didn't answer any of them. Yeah. And I don't know. You get your buddies to drink. I don't know. It's just weird. So I also have a feeling, and this is kind of sad, that it's common decency, and that's it's a very strict commodity these days. And so, yeah, that's the downside. So I will be back in here this weekend. Tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow we're going to FGCU. Mark's going to take the Miata. I'm going to take the Viper. And we'll be at FGCU, their season opener. and there are a ton of nice cars down there, probably 200 or 300 cars, and it's a lot of kids from the college. It's a lot of motorcycle guys, truck guys, lowrider, everything. It's a variety pack of cars, and it's super cool. It's very well organized. The university does a great job of it. So that's the other thing. My Rockstar delivery got delayed. I'm gonna have to write those guys. You just can't get it in Southwest Florida. It's just I can get all the other cookie flavors, you know, asphalt lime and all this other weird shit, but I can't get regular Rockstar. It's weird. Definitely gotta shoot those guys a message. So next time I see you guys, there won't be a ladder in here. There'll be much brighter lights. Currently, there's only one fluorescent still up, and I just left that up because I knew I was going to talk to you guys tonight. I'm like, I can't take them all down. I got to have some kind of light in here, and I also have to reset the LEDs in the garage door here because they're not changing colors like the other one should. So that happens sometimes when you power off. So yeah, so we'll have something I've been wanting to do since I got here, and that is put LED lights in here. We'll have new LED lights. It'll be brighter. You guys will be able to see more stuff. And I told you guys the roll bar's back from the powder coater. So we'll probably do a roll bar installation. That might be a once this Miata is out, we'll do a roll bar installation because it might be a 1 or 2 night thing. Because it is kind of involved. It's pretty. Most of the cutting was done beforehand, and swaps over to the new car pretty easy. But there's some trim pieces that still need to get done, and so might do a 2-party with that, just so we can get a full coverage on it. But I'm very happy with how the powder coating turned out, and hopefully you guys will like it too. I think it's really cool. So yeah, we've got Miata stuff coming up. We actually have a ton of Miata stuff coming up because all that suspension stuff has to go back on too. The sway bars, the brakes, the coilovers, everything that's on the list here. What's on the list? Roll front sway bar, rear sway bar, coilovers front and rear, brakes, braided lines, the front air dam, the rear wing, the wheels and tires. Oh, and the braided clutch line. By the way, if you do have a Miata, please go get a braided clutch line. They have the stock line goes from hard line to soft line down to the slave cylinder. So you want to make sure that's a braided line. It will get hot from the engine and from outside temperatures, whatever. Get a braided line, protect that. It's brake fluid that's in there, so you don't want it boiling. Get a braided line. It'll keep it nice and tight. You'll have a great clutch day and night. So highly recommend it. They're not very expensive, $20. Excuse me. $20 or so, $25 for a braided line. Worth it. Totally worth it. So that's it. So we do have a ton more stuff coming up. We'll definitely keep you guys updated. Once the shop is running and once I'm done running around, I've done a ton of running around so far this week, and I've got a little more the next couple of days, but we'll be back in here doing a bunch more stuff. And I think that's about it. For racing, we have Ultimate 600 coming up in October, second weekend in October. And we have the 24 Hours of Lemons at Road Atlanta. We put a team together, and I think right now we're just going to be running 1 car. We might be running 2. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. We still have some time because that's in December. So that's where we're at. I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. I hope everyone makes the most of, you know, I don't want to say makes the most of Dolly's passing, but what's the word? Grieves properly, because she wouldn't want us to cry. She would want us to go out and do cool stuff for other people. So, you know, I posted on social media. She said, if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. It might be the only sunshine they get all day. And so, yeah, take that. That kind of attitude, that kind of mentality, it goes for miles, man. It really does pay off. It really does. She was doing it right. She was definitely doing it right. So, yeah, hopefully you can relive that stuff and smile too. And uh, don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give them a kiss on the cheek, give them a kiss on the tip of their nose, hold their hand, give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but like LED lighting, it's far more important for you. All right, thanks everyone. We'll catch you. We'll catch you this weekend. All right, have a great night. Dolly didn't need LED lighting. She looked great in any lighting, right?